in a previous video when I attached the jigsaw to the plywood board. When it is in the lowest position, it only protrudes 3 cm, because I used a 14 mm thick board to make this jigsaw table. Because I used this thick board and the blade is well adjusted in the slot, the blade stays vertical. Even so, when I cut, the blade tends to bend to follow the soft parts of the wood. So it is better to put something in the top to keep the blade vertical. But this blade is too short to do that, so I've bought a longer blade. This blade is longer, the metal sheet is thicker, and it cuts a thicker slot. So I had to cut the slot once again. Now I have the blade in the right place, and luckily it is vertical. Now I can put a support in the top of the blade, and when I cut I still have a lot of space below it. The easiest is to cut a slot in a piece of plywood, and then we can put it somehow in the top of the blade. But I think the best option is to put one bearing to each side. I have this kind of rolling skates, and I removed a wheel. I cut it and I get 2 small bearings. I will put one to each side in the top of the blade. I just need to make something to hold the bearings next to the blade, so I will make an odd and ugly support, but it will be very easy to make and very easy to install. I need 2 plywood strips, and I can cut them with my jigsaw table. I will screw both bearings in the end of that piece. This piece will be the base of the support. I need the piece with the bearings to be this height, so I need to put something between both plywood pieces. With the jigsaw blade in its lowest position, with this block I get the perfect height. I just have to cut it to be the same width of the plywood pieces. I think I can leave 16 cm free behind the blade. I put that plywood piece on the block, with the end slightly touching the back of the blade. I drill some guide holes. I apply some glue, and I screw it to the wooden block. Now I screw the other piece of plywood in the other side of the wooden block. Now, with the end of the top piece of plywood slightly touching the back of the blade, I screw the support to the jigsaw table board. But I don't use any glue, because I want it to be easy to dismantle. I insert there a nylon plug. And I cut it with a chisel. I hold it with a pair of pliers and I insert a screw until the tip protrudes the other side. And I do the same with the other bearing. With the blade perfectly in vertical, I put the bearing next to the blade, and I press to mark the tip of the screw in the piece of plywood. I put the other bearing next to the blade, and I press to mark the tip of the screw in the piece of plywood. I drill a guide hole in each mark. I fully drive the screws in the nylon plugs. And I screw the bearings. The screws in the nylon plugs are not well centered, and because the bearings turns off center, when I turn the screws I can adjust the distance between the bearings and the blade. I don't want the blade to be pressed between both bearings, and I want the blade to be vertical. It supports quite well the side efforts. I want the bearings to turn without any problem, and I think it works without any problem. Thanks for watching. You can find all my woodworking videos in my channel. And if you like my videos, thanks for subscribing to my channel.